How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about two kinds of Filipinas, cheetahs and turtles. Let's go. So when it comes to the Philippines, over and over and over again, I see expat guys dating the same kind of Filipina. She's a cheetah. Now this kind of Filipina is everywhere in the Philippines. They're just easy to find, they're easy to meet, they're easy to go out on a date with, and that's probably why foreigner guys are meeting them and think that this is the only type of Filipina out there. However, this definitely is not the only type of Filipina out there. And maybe, depending on what you're looking for, this is totally the wrong type of Filipina for you to begin with. So in this video, I want to dive a bit deeper and explain more about both of them so you could recognize what you found. On the outside, both might be beautiful, but on the inside, they're totally different. So first, what does a cheetah look like? Well, in the Filipino world, they are quick, right? They're quick to say, I love you. They're quick to say, I want to go to your condo. They're quick to jump in bed. They're quick to say, I love you. They're quick to ask for money. They're quick in everything. Now, I think for a lot of guys over here, this type of Filipina is mesmerizing. It's like there's a young, beautiful girl that just quickly falls in love with you, quickly wants to spend all their time with you, is always checking up on you, wants to take care of you. If you come from the West, your mind is just going to be spinning, right? It's intoxicating. It's maybe something that a lot of guys have never experienced in their whole life, especially in the numbers that it can happen over here. And I think as a result of that, foreigner guys just keep their attention on this type of girl because they're just everywhere. But it's a little bit like that saying, you get what you pay for, right? If there's not much investment, chances are you're not gonna wind up what you want for the long haul. But again, that depends on what you're looking for. And I'll talk more about that shortly. This person's also gonna be quick to introduce you to your family, to put a label on the relationship, say that they want to be your girlfriend, quick to post you all over their social media, quick to introduce you to their friends, and they're going to be quick to move in. Now you got to ask yourself why. Is it because you're that amazing of a guy that in 1 second, before they even met you in person, a lot of times, a lot of these things are starting to happen? Or there may be something else going on behind the scenes. We'll talk about that shortly as well too.
Say, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So again, cheetahs are everywhere. But if you look a little bit more closely in the Philippines, you're also going to see that cheetahs aren't the only type of Filipina over here. There's also turtles as well. So what's a turtle Filipina? A turtle Filipina is one that is more of a high value type of woman. She has high standards. She's looking for someone to be a part of her life, but she's not going to just find the first guy that's out there. She's also going to want to make sure that the guy is compatible with her, that he's going to be a good partner, that he's not a red flag type of guy. And in many ways, a turtle Filipina is going to be the exact opposite of a cheetah. They're going to be very slow to get to know you. If you meet them online, it might take a while until they want to meet in person. If you meet in person, it might take a while before they're going to want to meet you alone. Being alone or being intimate is going to take a bit longer. They're not going to immediately say, I love you. They're going to be slow to introduce you to friends or to family. They're certainly not going to be posting all about you on social media. They're really going to be taking their time to get to know you over a longer amount of time. Now, there's another characteristic about these Filipinas that I've often seen and why I'm calling them turtles. It's because they have a bit of a protective shell. Yes, they're slow, but they also have that protective shell and they're going to be pretty quick to go in it. Actually, I just find that's all you see with this type of Filipina at first is just a shell. And that's because they're trying to protect their heart. And that's because they're trying to protect their heart. They're trying to protect their space. They have other priorities going on in life with family or perhaps a career, and they're going to be a lot slower to let you underneath that shell. So I think it's worth looking at the different motivations of cheetahs and turtles. For me, cheetahs are probably going super quick because they feel that you are the prize and they're wanting to get perhaps a better life. They're seeing that you're going to make a difference in their life. They're trying to get something out of you in a lot of cases. It doesn't mean that they're not sincere or that they're not caring or that they don't genuinely want to be in a relationship with you. But normally when people jump at an opportunity so quick, it's because they know that there's something that they could get out of it. So that's a bit of a red flag, right? Guys need to be wary about cheetahs in the Philippines because there might be a lot more going on beneath the scenes that you won't see until 1 month, 3 months, 6 months down the track. So take your time. The faster a Filipino wants to go, the slower you should go. The slower they want to go, well, that's a different story. Let's talk about turtles again. So what's the motivation with turtles? For me, these are far more rare to find Filipinas over here, and I have really mixed feelings about them. On the one hand, this is the kind of girl that you really want to settle down with if you're looking for a long-term relationship with. These are going to be people that you're going to be able to have great conversations with, that have a lot of depth, that are going to really add a lot to your life, that are going to be great long-term partners, but they also often have different motivations. I find with this type of Filipina, it's really difficult to know where they're at. And that's because they're just so slow at everything. It's hard to know if there's any interest there. Whereas with a cheetah, you just kind of know everything right away. You might not know the true motivations, but you know that they're interested. You know that they want to be a part of your life. Whereas with turtles, it just simply takes time. It might be a month, 2 months, 3 months before you even have a hint at how they feel about you, if they're interested in you. And for most expat guys over here, they're simply just going to give up because they don't want to take the time. Now, I got to be honest, living over here, it's pretty rare that I met this type of Filipina over here. They're mostly busy doing other things. It's just very hard to find them. Often when you do, they might be with their family, or if they have kids, they're with their kids. So it's just harder to get to know this type of Filipina, and it's definitely a lot harder to kind of read what's going on. They're just completely different in terms of how they communicate. They go slow. They're waiting for you to show interest. They're waiting for you to really just kind of show consistency over time. And I gotta be honest, as a foreigner, it gets pretty frustrating at times because you just don't know where it's going. I think this is where you start to see some big different cultural differences between Western culture, which is a lot more transparent and open and I think affectionate at times, compared to more of a traditional Filipino style of getting to know each other that is just slow and slow and slow and a little bit shrouded in mystery. I think that a lot of turtles, they have that shell because there's been things that have gone on in their past life. Maybe they did go quicker than they wished in the past with somebody, or maybe they were in a long-term relationship and they got really hurt. And so that shell will just stay on there for a very long time, and they'll be very slow to kind of expose that shell, as I mentioned, in the future. And so you'll have to really work harder to earn that person's trust. So at the end of the day, I think that you just have to look at what is right for you. For a lot of expat guys over here, it's obvious. They really want a cheetah. That's what they're here for. They want quick and fast. They want to know how somebody feels. Maybe they don't want a long-term relationship. And so they're really looking at someone that will give them what they want quickly. On the other hand, if you're the kind of guy that comes over here, and I think there is also a lot of expats like this, that they really want to settle down for a long-term relationship. Maybe they've watched YouTube channels and they've seen guys over here that have met great partners, maybe long-term girlfriends, even wife over here, and they say, that's what I want. If so, I would definitely say that the turtle type of Filipina is for you. However, it's going to take a lot more patience. It's going to take a lot more time. And I think that there needs to be more communication and more compromise in these type of situations as well for the turtle to really communicate with you where they're at, what they're looking for as well. And this is where I think where cultural differences can break things apart, and something that have potential to be long-term will be no more, because it really takes a lot more communication in the turtle type of situation than it does in the cheetah. So cheetah, turtle, I'd be curious to know what is for you in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Take care.